I am 92 years old. I have been alive long enough to watch entire generations disappear. I have buried my parents, my husband, 2 brothers, and more friends than I could ever count without getting tired. And I am here to tell you something gently but honestly. Your 60s are not the beginning of something bright and golden. Your 60s are the final stretch before the real losses begin. Everything that follows is harder than you imagine. I spent most of my working life guiding teenagers through their fears and their futures. I worked in a public high school in Pennsylvania for almost 4 decades. I thought I understood people. I thought I understood aging. I thought I understood how to prepare. I did not. When I turned 70 and finally stepped away from my job, I believed I had done everything right. There was money saved. There were plans written down. There was a man I loved and children who called me and grandchildren who ran toward me with open arms. None of that protected me. No one warns you about how your own body will quietly turn against you. No one prepares you for the way strength leaves without asking permission. No one tells you how silence grows when the people who know your stories start dying. I was not ready for any of it. I was not ready for waking up one morning and realizing my hands could not hold what they used to. I was not ready for the ache that never leaves your back once it arrives. I was not ready for how quickly the phone stops ringing. And I was absolutely not ready for the day my husband collapsed in a hardware store while I was at home writing a grocery list. One minute he was alive. The next minute he was gone. 63 years together reduced to a phone call in a hospital hallway. Later, a stroke took what little independence I had left. I woke up in a bed I did not recognize, unable to move one side of my body, suddenly needing help to do things I had done alone my entire life. So please understand something. I am not speaking to you from a place of wisdom earned by success. I am speaking to you from the ruins of what I wish I had done differently. And if you are somewhere in your 60s right now, I am talking to you. Because your body is about to change in ways you will not be able to undo. When I was 62, I walked for miles without thinking. I lifted grocery bags. I played on the floor with my grandchildren. I got back up without holding on to anything. I assumed that would always be true. By my mid-70s, a mile felt long. By 80, the stairs felt like a mountain. By my mid-80s, a stroke decided what I could no longer do. Here is the truth no one says out loud. The strength you lose after 60 rarely comes back. The balance that used to be natural becomes something you have to concentrate on. The bones that thin do not grow thick again. If you do not push your body now while it still listens to you, you will spend your later years trapped inside it. I watch my great-grandchildren run across the yard. I remember when my legs did that. I remember when standing up was easy. That woman feels like someone I once knew, not someone I am. If you can still walk 3 miles, walk them. If you can still lift things, lift them. Build strength now. You will beg for it later. And while you are doing that, start building people around you. Because friends leave faster than you expect. I had 3 women I thought would be with me forever. We met every week for decades. We raised children together. We buried parents together. We laughed through marriages and sickness and fear. One by one, they disappeared. And now I'm the only one left who remembers who I was when I was young. Your family will love you, but they do not remember your early dreams. They do not know your first heartbreak. They were not there when you became who you are. You need people who remember. Make friends now. New ones, young ones, anyone who will still be there when the old faces fade. Loneliness in old age is not quiet. It is loud, it echoes, and it hurts in a place nothing else can reach. There are things you should talk about now, while everyone is still able to speak clearly. Not later, not when someone is already in a hospital bed. Now. When my mother was 89, a stroke took her voice. She lived 3 more years like that. 3 years where we did not know what she wanted. We did not know if she wanted machines keeping her alive. We did not know where her will was. We did not know how to access her money. Those 3 years turned my siblings into strangers. We argued, we guessed, we made decisions blind. I promised myself I would never leave that kind of mess behind. And still, I almost did. Because sitting down with your children and saying, "This is what happens when I'm dying," feels too heavy. It feels wrong. It feels like inviting death to sit at the table. But death does not need an invitation. If you do not talk about it while you are healthy, you leave confusion where love should be. Tell them where the papers are. Tell them what you want. Tell them who gets what. Do not make them guess when they are already grieving. And do not think retirement will rescue you. It will not. Retirement does not give you meaning. It removes the one you've been leaning on. For almost 40 years, I was known as the counselor. That was my place. That was my worth. That was how I knew who I was. When I stopped working, that identity disappeared overnight. I woke up with no one needing me. It took me years to feel useful again. Years of feeling invisible. Years of wondering why I was still here. If your job is your whole world, the day you stop working will feel like falling off a cliff. You need something to live for that is not a paycheck. A craft, a cause, people, something that gives you a reason to get dressed, because without it, the days become long and empty. And while you are still able to, pay attention to the person sleeping beside you. You think you have endless years together. You do not. My husband and I were married more than 60 decades. That sounds like forever. It is not. The early years were busy. The middle years were complicated. The good years were fewer than I realized. By the time our marriage was strong and peaceful, time was already taking it away. The last years were filled with appointments, medications, and quiet goodbyes we did not know were goodbyes. Love does not end, but the way you can live it does. Take the trips, stay out late, say yes to the invitations. Do not wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. And forgive people while they are still breathing. I lost my brother over a foolish argument. We did not speak for years. I was sure I was right. Then he died.
There is no closure when someone is gone. There is only regret. Do not let pride steal your last chance to say, I love you. And stop trying to fix your grown children. They do not need your solutions. They need your presence. They want you to sit at their table, hold their babies, listen. Advice pushes people away. Love brings them closer. And write things down. You will forget. Everyone does. Write the stories. Write the memories. Write who you were before age changed you. If you do not, they disappear. You will be afraid. Not just once, not just a little. You will be afraid again and again. Afraid of getting weaker. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of losing the people who make your life feel real. I spent so many years pretending I was not scared. I told myself that if I did not think about it, it would somehow stay away. It did not. Everything I feared arrived anyway. My husband died. My health failed. I lost the life I once knew. And yet, I am still here. I still laugh when my granddaughter tells a silly joke. I still feel the sun through the window. I still enjoy a warm cup of coffee in the morning. Fear does not destroy you. It changes you. It makes you smaller in some ways, but it does not erase you. You are stronger than you believe. You will survive things you cannot imagine surviving. But there is something else you must understand. Time does not move the way you think it does. The first half of life feels long. Everything is new. Every year is different. The second half disappears in a blur. I blinked and I was 70. I blinked and I was 80. I blinked and the man I loved was gone. Decades collapse into moments. That is why I am asking you to pay attention. Not someday, today. Say what you mean. Go where you want. Love who you love. One day you will sit in a quiet room, talking to someone who is no longer there. I speak to my husband every night. I tell him about my day, about the children, about how much I miss him. He never answers, but I keep talking, because that is what love becomes. I am 92 years old. I have outlived almost everyone I ever cared for. And if I could sit across from the woman I was in my 60s, I would hold her hands and say one thing. It goes faster than you think. So be here. Be kind. Be brave. And do not waste the years you still have. You still have time, just not as much as you believe.